Hey College and Career Success, welcome to your very last set of assignment videos. So this is week 8, so you may be watching this Friday before week 8 officially opens. As I've mentioned before, I am opening week 8 early because it does end on Friday the 28th. So we are getting very close to the end. It does end on a Friday. I just want to kind of reiterate that a few times because I don't want anyone thinking that you have the typical weekend to work on it, because that's when I get the grades wrapped up and entered in. So, as a quick couple additional announcements, so when you're in week 8, depending on again when you're watching this, week 3 will also open up this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and it has that in my announcements here, that you should be, if you want to, working on week 3 makeup work. So if you feel like that's something that you could benefit from, I don't think there was very much missed during that week, but you can always feel free to go back and check and just make sure you can take advantage of that. So when you are done with week 8, I will email you, regardless of when you finish, and let you know, hey, you're all done, here's your final grade, so that you know you are completely done with the course. Alright, so let's go ahead and jump into week 8. Week 8 has our last 2 chapters, 11 and 12, so you want to make sure that you spend some time looking at the slides, the discussion, on the videos, the PowerPoints, whatever it is that helps you get through the content. And you can see you have back to 2 discussion posts this week. I know we had a week off from it in week 7, but you are back again with 2 discussion boards, so you need to make sure you post your original in both by Wednesday for your weekly attendance, and then respond to 2 classmates by Friday. So you can see Friday is reiterated here multiple times. So let's go and look at chapter 11. There's your skill survey. That's just a check-in for yourself. Here's your prompt for the chapter 11 discussion. It says, are your eating and sleeping habits currently affecting your ability to have a super successful college experience? Remember, chapter 11 is all about making these healthy choices and all these different areas for life. So it says, describe the health and wellness changes a commitment to eating clean and sleeping well will bring about and how you'll benefit from them in short and long term. So maybe you struggle with sleeping enough, or eating the right kinds of foods, or enough during the day, or too much during the day, or whatever the case is. If you make changes to some of those habits, how will that benefit you academically, personally, anything like that? So post original response by Wednesday, respond to 2 classmates by Friday. Alright, so your chapter 11 assignment, make a habit, break a habit, it's going to open up into a Word document. And so you are going to, don't worry about this part right here where it says weeks. It's just going to have 1, 2, 3, 4. So a healthy habit to make and an unhealthy habit to break. So let's say you want to drink more water, and maybe because you want to drink more water, you want to drink less pop. Now, they don't necessarily have to go together. Sometimes you might find it's easier to do that. So you could have had something as easy, drink more water, and then over here you want to stop, I don't know, biting my nails, because maybe that affect, like you're a nervous nail biter and you want to do something different to help you with your anxiety, whatever it might be. So they can correlate with one another, or they don't have to. It's just sometimes it's easy if they do correlate. So you'll fill out this box, and it's kind of like thinking about, could you do this every week? The weeks was right here, but could you make or break a habit every week for 4 weeks? And so you're going to ask, what habits could you make or break? And then answer these questions. What reminders will you use? Will you use phone reminders, post-it notes, where you tell someone and they can ask you? What if you forget about making or breaking a habit? Like, what's your backup plan? How would you feel if you were able to do this for good? How would your life be different? How would you feel if you weren't able to do it? And then what obstacles might prevent you from making or breaking your habit? So go ahead and make sure you save this document and then upload it as usual inside the Dropbox right in here. And then of course your chapter 11 quiz, 2 to 5 sentences each. I've noticed the last couple quizzes, some people are just entirely skipping questions, so make sure that you answer all the questions. This one is talking about the importance of sleep. If you had to create a flyer, what would you include? This is addressing self-relief, like stress relief routines, what works for you, anything in the textbook that you would try to see how it works. What do you think is the most common mental health disorder? And then kind of mix it with personal examples as well as textbook evidence. What are the 3 types of exercise mentioned in this chapter and the benefits? So you're going to find that over in the taking care of your physical health section, talks right there about exercise. And then how can you recognize when someone is using drugs or alcohol and if it becomes problematic? So again, make sure you save and submit and upload that. So those are your Chapter 11 assignments. I will be back with your Chapter 12.